Shalom, shalom, Israel. Peace and blessings to you guys. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. That's the name of the Heavenly Father through His Son, who the world knows commonly as Jesus the Christ. So, as you see, we have this article pulled up, and the title reads, "Who wants Iran to have more weapons?" That is the title, and the reason being, let's just go ahead and get into the article. It'll give you the exact explanation to why the title says "Who wants Iran to have more weapons?" Now, we've made a video, a lesson, to sit down on this arms embargo a few weeks ago, showing you really what to expect. Now, there's an arms embargo, which is, to put it simply, it suppresses Iran from being able to increase militarily, if that's a word. All right, it suppresses the military might of Iran because they can no longer buy nor sell any type of fighter jets, tanks, choppers, nuclear missiles. They couldn't do any of that because they were pursuing nuclear capability. And that's what it says in the article. Now, let me go ahead and read the article real quickly here. It says, in less than 2 months, the decade-long United Nations arms embargo on Iran is set to end. Letting this happen would be a catastrophic mistake, as it would allow the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism, actively pursuing nuclear capability, once again to obtain weapons from Russia and China. Salaki. So that's a good point there. This nation of Iran, they have a very good relationship with China. And China, I believe, with Russia. All right. These three are good allies, you can say. And you have North Korea over there in the corner as well. You see, so these nations are getting ready for war. China and Russia are already advanced in technology. And once they start to have their ally Iran produce and I'm looking for the word. Once they have Iran start to get back in the game, all right, and make these nuclear weapons, they'll have someone to help, someone in there. You see, so Russia and China, they're not planning to just allow America to keep going. Russia, China, and the other nations, they don't have the mindset of everybody, let's just stay stagnant. These nations, they have a different mindset, man, mind frame. Even America, actually. Let me take that back. America wants a new world order. All these nations want a new world order, man. You see? So someone's going to have to come out on the top. Let's keep reading. Slovakia. That's my fault. Allowing weapons, we're right here. Allowing weapons sales to Iran would not only hurt the United States and our allies, but would destabilize the region, giving the Iranian regime access to planes, tanks, and other weapons it needs to defend its nuclear production sites, oppress its people, and support its proxies in Iran, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. So you see, Iran would be able to buy planes, tanks, and other weaponry, which is bad for the United States. Now let's keep reading. Imposed in 2010 by the UN Security Council because of Iran's relentless pursuit of nuclear capability. Now, Iran, they were them people who were, as it says, relentlessly pursuing the nuclear capability, as North Korea actually does. Now, I don't have an article pulled up to show you that, but they surely do. King Jong-un is not over there just being stupid, man, sitting around on his couch being a damn couch potato. King Jong-un, he's power hungry. These other nations are power hungry. King Jong-un has said that he's been studying and advancing in nuclear technology. He's been in it how should I put this? He's been looking more into it than both his father and his father's father, you see. So Kim Jong-un right now, we don't really know what he has, but we for sure know these other nations have missiles that America has never seen. That is classified information. Iran and China, they had a relationship. No one could really get any information or communication on what was happening in betwixt or in between it. So how much more the nuclear capability that these other nations have been producing throughout the ages, throughout the decades. All right, let's read on. The current arms embargo. All right, and we just might click on this, but no, I don't want this article to go off. So the current arms embargo, which is a sanction, is what it does is act as a suppression on a certain nation. An arm embargo. Let me see if I can just search it up. Nah, because this thing's gonna go off. Because this is a weird type of. Let me just keep reading. The current arms embargo has made it harder for Iranian regime to pursue its malign agenda abroad. Nonetheless, Iranian military has exported violence with deadly effectiveness. All right, so I mean that's about it. As you can see, Iran has no intention of staying stagnant, not even back in 2010. Now they're in 2020 and they haven't been able to pursue anything, which now they have more of a probably a want, more of a looking for the word, more of a urge to get more military might. Right, they're tired. If I can pull the video up, now I probably don't remember what it's called. These Iranians, they actually want the children of America to be slaughtered. They're waiting on that news. Now let's go to these scriptures. All right, let's go to these scriptures. Give me a moment here, Salakia. All right. So let's go ahead and go to Jeremiah 50 and I believe 23. And I believe this sanction or arms embargo is set to end on October the 18th. Now, Trump and his administration has been doing everything in their power to completely cancel the cancellation of the arms embargo. But guess what? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You have to have 9 different other countries to agree. And we went into this. If you guys watched the last arms embargo video, you understand that Trump is it's a lost cause. It is. It very, very much is. So let's go. Jeremiah 50:23. How is the hammer of the whole home Slaki? Nah, that's the wrong one. Give me a second here. Let me look at it in my scriptures here. Slaki. Give me a moment. So this let's go to 29. Salaki, that's the wrong one. So right here, it says, "Call together the archers against Babylon." Who are those archers? The archers are these other nations. What do archers do? They have a bow and arrow, and they shoot the bow. All ye that bend the bow, who are who? The other nations, the archers. And what are the arrows? These arrows are the arrows of the Lord. All right, they are nuclear missiles. Let me go to verse chapter 51. Give me a second. It says Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. What is that destroying wind? It tells you, you can read about this in Revelations 18. That destroying wind is the effect of the nuclear missiles hitting the ground. Verse 2, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. So these other nations are going to be against Babylon, man. You understand? Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in Slaki, forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce that. Brignine, all right, something like that. And spare ye not her among her young men. Destroy ye utterly all her host. All right, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans. All right, and the excellency of the city of the Chaldeans is Babylon. So that's just another way of saying, look, put America, which is Babylon, to an end. Reading on. And they that are thrust through in her streets. All right, for Israel had not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, and the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. So look, the Lord's going to destroy Babylon with these arrows that come from the other nations who are the archers, and set Israel back up, because the Lord has not forsaken us, man. The Lord has not forsaken us. This destroying wind will come upon Babylon. Now, I had a few scriptures I wanted to bring out, but I can't remember, Salaki. So let me go to Psalms chapter 91. And Salaki. Somewhere around here. I need to sharpen up. It's right about here. Psalms chapter 91 and 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor the arrow that fly by day. All right, those arrows are nuclear missiles. You understand that? These arrows are nuclear missiles. Now let's go right back to Jeremiah. Man, Jeremiah chapter 50. I believe it's around 30. Right. All right, so we'll go to Joel right after this one. So yeah, call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about, like we just read. These other nations will be sending missiles round about. Thousands and thousands. We're going to read that as well, too. All right, Lord willing. Let none therefore thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done unto her, Slakia. All that she hath done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. All right, and the Lord lets you know that, man, in the scriptures. Slakia, real quick, I want to make sure I get you well. Let me write it down. All right, so let's go to Revelations. Revelations chapter 9 and 16, I believe. All right. So this is Revelations 9 and 16, letting you know how many arrows of the Lord are going to destroy this place. So this is Revelations 9 and 16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. So this is John having a revelation. He's basically seeing missiles straight up. John, he's seeing missiles right now. All right. And he calls them horsemen. Why does he call them horsemen? Well, because the horses in Job, it tells you that I don't want to make this lesson too long, but it tells you in Job 39, and if we can find it, Salakia, I believe the horses are right around here. Job 39 and 19, hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou clothed his neck with thunder? Right? Canst thou make him afraid as a grasshopper? The glory of his nostril is terrible. Yeah, when that horse, he I don't know the word, but when that air comes out of his nostril, man, it's like a gust of wind. So look, the horses, they're battle animals, man. They're always ready for battle, man. They're mighty. Right? So John, when he says in Revelations 9:16, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and jason and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions. So these heads of these horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Right? So the sight that John is seeing, he's seeing a missile right now. Right? Behind the missile, let me just bring up what a missile looks like. Missile. Slovakia. Didn't mean to go into all this, but missile. Let me see here. In sky. Let's go to images. So this is what John is seeing. We might just have to use something. My images aren't really coming up that great. So yeah, this is what John is seeing, man. You have the missile, right? And out of the back is coming like fire, man, and it's leaving that smoke behind. Right, like a serpent's tail. Is about to tell you that. And thus I saw the horses in a vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions. And out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone. And that's what's happening right here. You have fire, smoke, and then you have the brimstone. All right, you have that little kind of debris. So let's go back. So these are missiles that John is speaking of. For their power is in their mouth, and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them do they hurt. And like I was saying, you have that smoke comes out, and it's going to make a trail like a serpent. Let me see if I can find one. Like this, man. So that's like a trail of a serpent, man. And this is what John was saying. When the missile launches, it leaves behind it a trail, right? Because of fire and smoke and brimstone. Let's go back. All right. And their heads do they hurt. So whenever the missile hits that ground, a mushroom cloud comes up, man. And then a shock wave goes through, which is full of fire, fervent heat, man. But the point I wanted to get here was that there's going to be a lot of missiles. 200,000. Man, that's going to be a lot. But let's go to Revelation, Joel chapter 3. And let's go to 12. It says, let the heathen. Now let's start at 9. 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. You see? So the Lord, he says, instead, basically, start investing your time in the nuclear military might. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what's happening. These nations aren't so worried about their agricultural state, about their farms. Not that they just done gave up, but now they have more interest and spears and swords. In other words, instruments of war, especially nuclear weapons. All right? Let the weak say I'm strong. So these other nations, they're no longer weak. Now they're rivaling against America. No longer that man who was just too far behind. Now they're getting ahead of the game. And that's what's happening. So in the end, like I said, Iran, October 18th, they start, and they're going to be a real ally to China and Russia. And China and Russia's allies. All right? So look, man. War is indefinite. War is I forget the word. It's coming. That's what I can say, man. All right, and with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem HaMashiach Yahushua. Shalom.